Good morning, Facebook group. Bart here again. Today I want to talk about the next step in our puppy training. What we've done is we've worked on engagement, we have worked on implementing distractions, and we have worked on rewarding the first position, the basic position, where we, with luring, brought the dog to our left leg and we rewarded his shoulder position to our ankle, basically. What I want to demonstrate today is the next step in developing that basic position and developing healing. What is important is that we have control over our luring hand and that our food manipulation with our hand is good. Many people drop food, as so do I sometimes. The most important thing when that happens is that we don't pay attention to the dropped food and continue our work until our dog is engaged in our hands or engaged with us. And then if we find an opportunity to pick up the food that we dropped, that is a good moment to do so. So the next step in working is what we are going to try to do is make our puppy aware that when he lines his shoulder to our right or left leg, better, so if he lines his right shoulder to our left leg, that's a really good position to be in, and that position is resulting in a click and is reward. So the other thing that we are going to do is slowly but surely, when the dog gets better, is transition from luring with food in the hand to a visual cue. Many people make a mistake by luring too long, and the dog gets kind of stuck in this food following mode. The problem with luring is, although it's a really great technique that I use all the time, that if we use luring techniques too long, the dog sometimes becomes quote-unquote brainless and is just following the food without actually realizing that he is learning something and without realizing what behavior he just did led to the reward. Because in his mind, what led to the reward is putting his nose in your hand and following the hand without, again, realizing the emotion or the behavior that he has done. So we need to be very strategic in when we implement that visual cue. And of course, when we're working with puppies, it's not going to be a heel, it is going to be a transition from luring to a visual cue. And like I always said, be a splitter, not a lumper. That visual cue adding process is also done step by step. So it's not that we're going from luring to heel. That would be very unfair, as our puppy is going to have no idea what it is what we're going to do. The step that is placed in between is what I call maybe a distance lure. So we're going to slowly but surely raise our hand out of the dog's nose, out of the pup's nose, and make him follow it from a distance in that position. While we're doing that, the other thing that we can do is when the pup figures it out, is then slowly but surely start raising our hand and making a circular motion. And eventually that circular motion is going to lead to a very short motion, is going to lead to the visual cue of healing. But again, that is done step by step. However, some people do transition too fast into this process, as the dog literally has no idea what it is, what he needs to do, and he's still figuring out the process of luring. So what we need to have is a dog that when he comes to you in the training area, that is willing to work and engaged, that is pushing his nose into the hand when luring, and that when you lure him, that nose-hand contact doesn't easily break. So when we have done that, we are ready to create the first muscle memory. And if you don't know what that looks like, look in some of the previous videos that we've done here on this puppy series, and look for muscle memory building exercises where I explain that the first step is not forming behavior but muscle memory in finding a right position and learning how to move the body. Because a lot of young dogs, they don't really understand that their body can move in many different ways. So I believe that it is our human responsibility, or our responsibility as a human better, to teach the dog and get him familiar with all the movements that we want him to do. Because I literally have not seen a wolf or a young pup spin and then go sit and look very pretty at the mom. That is a very unnatural behavior. So it's a behavior that we would like to create. So it's something that we need to show the pup. So if we have that, the next step, again, what we're going to do today is transition from this luring position into creating our first formal behavior, and that is the pup coming into basic position. So without further ado, let's go get the pup. We're going to follow Jeff. I'm going to ask him to, again, like always, let the puppy pee. And then, like always, donate some food to me. And then when the pup has peed, we are going to start the exercise. Again, like always, the pup comes out in the car, goes into the potty pen. When the dog has potted, Jeff is going to throw a little party. And we're going to say good piskadoon. When the dog has done go potty, we are going to go back to our training area. And we are going to start working. And then after the work, the dog goes back to the potty area, and hopefully he goes to the bathroom again. You know, as a reminder, dogs need to go to the bathroom after they pee, after they're excited, after they drank, after they work, after they ate. So we are responsible for keeping that routine going. So let's have a look here where our friend Jeff is with his puppy. And there he is. There is Agrippa. And Tinka is in the potty pen. She is very excited. She wants to work too. And Tinka is also Jeff's dog. And there is my friend. He is getting pretty fond of me. And again, what is important is that we ignore the puppy in a little bit, and that we don't pay attention to him. See, there you go. Immediately he knows the routine. Good piskadoon, and he's ready to work. I'm going to walk up to Jeff here and steal the food that he has, probably in his pocket. Thank you. So here's our food, and I'm going to load it into my pocket, and then we can start working. As the food is pretty wet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel that I put in my other pocket, in my pants pocket, so I can wipe my hands dry if necessary, and I'm not going to drop the food. Why don't we set our friend down, and are you ready to work there, buddy? And I think so. So here is the luring. So you see the dog is pushing into my hand, and there's distractions that I should not have gotten in here, but for demonstration purposes I'm going to try to work through, as this little fellow is really good. And with my luring technique, you can see I can bring that dog into a pretty good basic position. So what we're going to do next is start luring a little bit higher and bringing that pup, like you see, in basic position. To be honest, I have practiced with this puppy a little bit, so you can see that the puppy is getting better in adopting to a visual cue. And so what we're going to do is slowly but surely is raising our lure and creating that visual cue. And that is the next step and the first behavior. What is important is that we, of course, keep the session very fun. There you go. And then slowly but surely I could add maybe a little bit of movement to it. And I'm just going to redirect Agrippa here from the camera. And Agrippa knows that he needs to stay with the left leg. I have been conditioning that. And he just turned 10 weeks old today. And there we go. We have a nice basic position. We have a little bit of healing. And that is all done with the techniques that I'm just showed you. Yeah, important again is that we keep the session fun. Yeah, we create a little bit of excitement. And if the pup fails, we just reset and try it again. When he meets the criteria, he gets the click. There you go. Very nice. And again, Agrippa is 10 weeks old. And we need to make this very, very, very fun. And as you see here, I dropped food already a couple times, but I don't pay attention to it. And if I keep the session going, my puppy will stay with me. He just found a leaf and he let it go. He said, hey, you are way more fun. And there we go. By distance luring and slowly but surely introducing a visual cue, we are creating our first behavior. And that is coming into basic position and teaching the dog that, and there I dropped food, I'm not paying attention to it, he needs to stay with my left leg. And I dropped it again. Not to worry, we just keep going and make it really fun. So, if you do your homework, well, you can see what kind of progress you can make in about 2 weeks of training. We've gone from engagement to creating our first little behavior. And again, when he's distracted, not to worry, just be patient. He's going to get the zoomies. Yeah, and the session is about over. I normally work about 2 minutes with a pup, and that should be enough. And I've got some other stuff on the ground there. There's a lot of distractions going on. So I'm just going to see. Yeah, and he got my hands. And I'm going to reward him for coming to me. So I'm going to make it very excited. And there he goes. Very, very pretty. We're almost out of food. So I should stop the session, but I'm still going to try to see if I can get him a little bit excited. And there he goes to the cameraman, which is fine. He needs to learn that eating the camera is less fun than eating his food. Well, he's a Malinois, so he probably will think that eating a camera is actually pretty cool. And there we go. And again, ask him to come in. Good so. Good so. Do one more time, test my luck here, and we're finishing on a high note. There you go. So the next step is Jeff is going to grab his pup. I'm going to give him a little bit of food. There we go. Good so, jongen. And Agrippa is going to go. Let's say hi to the camera here. Hey, buddy. Let's try. And he's going to say, hey, this is a wiggle worm. So let's get it back to the potty pen. Here you go. Here. And see if he needs to go to the bathroom again. Pretty lucky it's the sun is out today. Same routine as always, guys. We are going to go to the potty pen and give him the opportunity to go to the bathroom. And again, same thing. Try to ignore the pup. until he goes to the bathroom, and then we're going to make a big deal out of it. That was Piscadoon, so let's give him a little bit of a moment there, Jeff. So maybe he needs to go Kakskadoon. And Kakskadoon is poop. So we're not going to throw this. There he goes. And he's going to the bathroom here, guys. And big party for Kakskadoon. And then he goes back to his crate. So let's go back inside and we're going to review what we've just seen. So what we've talked about here briefly is transitioning from luring to our first somewhat visual cue. And I explained that this is a step-by-step process that you need to split. We can't just go from luring into our visual cue because the pup, you will put the pup up for failure. So things that we need is engagement. What we need is luring. We need an active pup in the hand. He needs to understand that he can move our hands and that he has muscle memory in the counterclock spin to come into heel position to our left, and that we are able to lure him there. The other thing that we need to have rewarded, and the criteria that we have set, is reward for position on the leg. So the alignment of the shoulder with the leg is what we need. If we haven't created that, we cannot go into the exercise that I just taught you, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, because if the puppy has no understanding that his shoulder needs to be aligned with our left leg, he will not find the right position. If we have this, what I've shown you is a step-by-step to transition from luring to a distance lure to almost a visual cue. So John, for you, if you're on this level, this is your next homework. If you're not on this level, I want you to stick by the other videos that you've done. Show me a little bit of progress. And for the rest of you guys, even if your older dog is not good, we can always start at the beginning and reteach basic position if necessary, and you just need to follow the puppy steps. So for now, I'm going to sign off. You guys keep training. Give me a like if you like this video, and again, in the comments below, let it go out of control and give me as much questions if you can, and I will answer them in the next video. For now, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.